Now the next topic of our discussion is diesel cycle, right? We already studied the Otto cycle, or you can say spark ignition cycle, which can be used in the petrol engine. And now this is the diesel cycle. As the name suggests, it will be applicable. It is the basic cycle for the diesel engines, the engines which are running on the diesel, right? This cycle is also known as, or you can say diesel engine is also known as combustion ignition engine, or you can say compression ignition engine, right? CI engine, that is compression ignition engine. Now if I describe the basic difference between SI engine and the CI engine is, as the name suggests, SI means spark ignition engine. That means after the compression stroke, when the piston is going in the from the bottom dead center to the top dead center, at your top dead center there is a spark plug attached to the cylinder head. That spark plug will give a spark, and because of that spark the combustion takes place in the petrol, right? That is the meaning of spark ignition engine, right? The ignition is because of the spark. But in case of the diesel engine, as the name suggests, it is the compression ignition engine, right? In this case there is no spark plug. In CI engine there is no spark plug. So we can say that when the compression stroke is there, when the piston is going from bottom dead center to the top dead center, it will increase, right? In the suction stroke, first of all I will explain one thing more, that in the suction stroke of SI engine, a mixture of air plus petrol will be entered into the cylinder, and in the compression stroke that mixture of air and petrol will be compressed, and when spark is there, then there is a combustion of the petrol is there and we get the expansion stroke. But in the case of CI engine there is no carburetor, right? In the suction stroke only the air will enter into the cylinder, only the air will enter, you can say only the air will enter into the cylinder, and when the piston reaches its top dead center in the compression stroke, the temperature is so high because the compression in the CI engine is more than the compression in the SI engine. So it will increase the temperature to such a level that when the piston will reach to its top dead center, inlet valve opens, or one valve is there, one inlet valve will open, it will send the diesel, right? Now the diesel will come in the form of your atomizations will be there, and in the form of very small droplets diesel will be enter into the cylinder, and because of that high temperature of the air the diesel will burnt. Because of that high temperature of air, there is no spark plug, there is no spark in the CI engine, right? Diesel will ignite because of that high temperature of the air which is present inside the cylinder, right? That is the basic difference between CI engine and SI engine. There are lots of more differences there, but those topic we will discuss in the theory part of the IC engine, right? Now in the diesel cycle, just as we have the four processes in the Otto cycle, in the Otto cycle the four process we have is isentropic compression, constant volume heat addition, isentropic expansion, and constant volume heat rejection. These four processes are there in the Otto cycle. In the diesel cycle, the three process will be the same, only one process will change. Only one process will change in the diesel cycle. So let us see that what are the processes in the diesel cycle. First process is, this is a PV diagram. We will explain with the help of this PV and TS diagram, right? First process is 0 to 1. This is 0 to 1. This process is the constant pressure suction process, in which the air will be entered into the cylinder, and this process is a constant pressure suction process. When the piston is going from top dead center to the bottom dead center, inlet valve is open and the air will enter into the cylinder at constant pressure, right? From 1 to 2 we have isentropic compression. When the piston is moving from bottom dead center to the top dead center, it will compress. At that time when the piston is moving upward for the compression stroke, both of the valves are closed, then it will compress the air which is present inside the cylinder, and that compression process is the isentropic that is reversible adiabatic compression process. And one more thing you must know, that the compression ratio of the diesel cycle is more than the compression ratio of the Otto cycle. Because why we need more compression ratio? In diesel cycle, this compression ratio is almost in between 14 to 17, right? The value of the compression ratio for the diesel cycle is between 14 to 17, but for the Otto cycle it is between 8 to 10, right? It is between 8 to 10. Why we need the more compression ratio, right? More will be the compression ratio. If you see that, the more will be the compression ratio, more will be the reduction in the volume. If more will be the reduction in the volume, more will be the increase in pressure, and if there is an increase in pressure, then more will be the increase in temperature. Why we want this increase in temperature? Because we have to reach the self ignition temperature of the diesel, so that diesel will burn when it comes in contact with this high temperature air, right? Because there is no spark plug, so diesel must ignite at that temperature. So to achieve that high temperature, we have to make this compression ratio very high, around 17 to 20, right? So this process 1 to 2 is isentropic compression, and if you can see from here, in the isentropic compression, your pressure is increasing, volume is decreasing, and temperature is also increasing, right? Temperature is increasing and entropy will remain constant because it is an isentropic process. So this is the process 1 to 2. Now only one change is there in the between the Otto cycle and the diesel cycle is with the heat addition process. In the diesel cycle, the heat addition will be at constant pressure. The heat addition will be at constant pressure, while the heat addition process in the Otto cycle is the constant volume heat addition, right? So how to achieve this constant pressure heat addition? What happen is, when the piston is moving from the bottom dead center to the top dead center, when the piston is at the top dead center, at that time your diesel will come in contact with the air. So the diesel will not ignite spontaneously. It will not ignite spontaneously. It will take some time, because some of the chemical reactions has to take place between the diesel and the air. Some of the chemical reaction has to take place. Then after that only the diesel will ignite, right? It will take some time. So when the piston is moving in the downward direction, then only this diesel will start igniting, and that ignition process is the constant pressure process. Constant pressure, we maintained it, right? So that heat addition process in the diesel cycle is constant pressure heat addition, right? So this is the process 2 to 3, that is the constant pressure process. And if you can see from here, in the constant pressure heat addition, volume is increasing, pressure is remaining same, temperature increased because of heat addition, and entropy will also increase because it is a heat addition process. So the entropy will also increase, right? So this third point, this point 3 is known as cutoff point. This point 3 is known as cutoff point. Why cutoff point? What is the meaning of the cutoff point? That the supply of the diesel will be stopped when the piston will be at point 3. When the piston will reach at the condition 3, then it is a cutoff point, means that diesel which is entering into the engine will start from point 2, and that diesel inlet will be up to point 3, and when the piston will reach at this condition, there is a cutoff from the inlet of the diesel, right? So diesel will be coming in the cylinder from this point 2 to point 3. So this 3 is known as cutoff point, right? So this 2 to 3 is the constant pressure heat addition. Other two processes are the same as that of Otto cycle. 3 to 4 is the isentropic expansion, right? Reversible adiabatic expansion. So in this we get some work will get, and we can say that during this process this 3 to 4 process, your isentropic process, pressure is decreasing because it is expanding, volume is increasing, right? And in 3 to 4 your temperature is decreasing and entropy will remain constant, right? And now 421 is the same process as we have in the Otto cycle, that is constant volume heat rejection. Heat rejection process in the constant volume. So 421 is the constant volume heat rejection process, right? And now from 1 to 0 we have the remaining exhaust gas which are remained, right? Constant volume means when the piston after the expansion stroke, when the expansion stroke is there, piston is moving from top dead center to the bottom dead center. So when the expansion stroke will finish at the bottom dead center, at that instant only your exhaust valve will open and the exhaust gases which are in the cylinder will go out, and that process is constant volume heat rejection, because piston is stopped for a moment, and at that moment how much gas will go out, that is the constant volume heat rejection. After that piston is moving from bottom dead center to the top dead center, it will reject all the remaining exhaust gases in the cylinder out of the cylinder at constant pressure. That process is 1 to 0, right? When the piston is moving from bottom dead center to the top dead center, the remaining exhaust gases which will remain inside the cylinder after the constant volume heat rejection, that exhaust gases will be sent out to the surrounding at constant pressure process. So this is the cycle, this is the PV and TS diagram for the diesel cycle. Now we have to find out, what we have to find out is the efficiency of the diesel cycle, right? We have to find out the efficiency of the diesel cycle. So before going to the derivation of the efficiency of the diesel cycle, we need to explain or need to introduce some of the ratios. This compression ratio we already know. This compression ratio is your V1 by V2. V1 by V2. Always remember that the ratios which we are discussing in the IC engine, all the ratios are greater than 1. All the ratios are greater than 1, whether it will be compression ratio, whether it will be cutoff ratio or the expansion ratio, right? Lot of students have a confusion that what to take, V2 by V1 or V1 by V2. Just remember one thing, it's easy to remember that in the IC engine, any ratios which we are talking, whether it will be compression ratio, cutoff ratio or your cutoff ratio or your what we can say expansion ratio, all the ratios will be greater than 1, right? So if we talk about the compression ratio, that is in this compression process V1 is more than V2, so it is V1 by V2 and denoted by the letter R. For this constant pressure heat addition, we have to define a ratio that is known as cutoff ratio, right? How much is the cutoff ratio? In this case, your pressure is same, P2 is equal to P3, right? But volume is increasing, so we can write V3 by V2, because V3 is more, volume at point 3 is more than the volume at point 2. So cutoff ratio will be denoted by the letter rho. This rho is not the density, this is the cutoff ratio, and this will be equal to V3 by V2, right? Similarly, I can define one more ratios, that is the expansion ratio, which I wrote RE, that is equal to, during this expansion process, V4, volume at point 4 is more than the volume at point 3, so this is V4 by V3. This can be written as V4 by V3, right? So we can say that if I elaborate it, the expansion ratio will be equal to V4 by V3. I can write it equal to V1 by V3, because V4 and V1 are same, constant volume heat rejection. So this can be written as V1 by V3. So this can be written as V1 by V2 into V2 by V3. It can be written like this, V1 by V2 into V2 by V3. What is this V1 by V2? This is R. What is this V3 by V2? Rho. This is divided by rho. So this will be the expansion ratio. This will be the expansion ratio, R by rho. R by rho is the expansion ratio, right? So these are the ratios which we have to define before going for the efficiency of the diesel cycle. Now let us start for the solving for the efficiency of the diesel cycle. So the basic formulas of the efficiency, we know that basic formula for the efficiency, we know that efficiency of the diesel cycle will be equal to, what will be the efficiency? That net work which will get net work upon heat supplied. Net work upon heat supplied. Right. Now if you see from this diagram, if you see in the compression, we have to give some compression work, let us say WC. Here some heat is supplied to the system, let us say QS. Here you will get some work, let us say WE, expansion work, and here we have to reject some heat, then let us say QR. Let us say QR. Right. So this will be your efficiency of the diesel cycle will be net work done upon heat supply. So if I apply same derivation, we will go, if I apply the first law of thermodynamics for the cycle. First law of thermodynamics for a cycle. Right. We already see that we have to assume that this is a closed cycle. So for a closed cycle, the first law of thermodynamics is summation of all the heat interaction will be equal to summation of all the work interaction. Summation of all the work interaction. Right, we know this. What will be the heat supply to the system is positive, heat rejected to the system is negative. So this is the net heat interaction in the cycle. This will be equal to work done by the cycle, work done by the system is positive minus work consumed by the cycle. This is work done on the system. Work done on the system is minus, work done by the system is positive. So this will be the first law of thermodynamics. This will be the first law of thermodynamics for the cycle. And what is this value? We know that this value is your net work done. This value is your net work done, right? This is the net work which you get, right? Expansion work minus the work consumed by the system. This will be the net work which you get as a output. So I can write that efficiency of the diesel cycle will be equal to your net work done upon heat supply. What will be the net work? That is heat supply minus heat rejected upon heat supply. Same thing will get 1 minus heat rejected upon heat supply. This will be the efficiency of diesel cycle. This will be the efficiency of diesel cycle, 1 minus heat rejected by heat supply. This is a generalized equation which is applicable for any cycle which you have to learn. Any cycle, this equation can be valid. Now we have to derive this equation for the temperatures, right? Now let us find out this heat supply and the heat rejection. So first of all, let us talk about the heat addition process, that is process 2 to 3. Right, first of all let us discuss about the process 2 to 3. That is a heat addition process. And this is the heat addition at constant pressure. So I can write that the heat addition at constant pressure, that is the heat supply, will be equal to mCp into T3 minus T4. Sorry, T3 minus T2. mCp into T3 minus T2. Right, mCp into T3 minus T2. So how you can write it? Because you know that if you solve it for the first law of thermodynamics, then this will be the first law of thermodynamics for this process will be dQ will be equal to du plus pdv. Right. If pressure is constant, then you can write it like du plus d of pv, and this can be written as d of u plus pv, and this can be written as dh for the constant pressure. So I can write that dq will be equal to dh. dq will be equal to dh for the constant pressure process. And you know one thing, that you can write dh is equal to mCp dt for two conditions. As we studied in the thermodynamics, that dh will be equal to mCp dt can be written for two conditions. If you have an ideal gas for any process you can write this equation, and for the constant pressure process, if the process is constant pressure, then for any substance you can write this equation. These conditions we already studied in the thermodynamics in detail. Here we have both things. We have air that can be treated as an ideal gas, and we have the constant pressure process. So you can write dq will be equal to mCp dt, and if you solve this, if you integrate this, m is constant, Cp is constant because we already take the cold air assumptions, then you will get that heat supply will be equal to mCp into T3 minus T2. mCp into T3 minus T2. This you know, right? Similarly, for the process 4 to 1, if we talk about the process 4 to 1, right? If I write the first law of thermodynamics for this process, then I can write dq will be equal to du plus pdv. This is a constant volume process, so this work will be 0. This is a constant volume process, so this work will be 0. Then you can write from here that dq will be equal to du. That is a change in internal energy. And you know this condition that du will be equal to, you can write mCv dt. Du is equal to mCv dt. You can write for two cases. First case is for the ideal gas. If the gas is ideal, then for any process you can write this. And if for the constant volume process, for any substance you can write du is equal to mCv dt. These conditions we already studied in the thermodynamics. Here we have both ideal gas and constant volume process. So you can write here that dq will be equal to mCv dt, and if you solve it, you will get that the heat rejected will be equal to mCv is constant, dt is T4 minus T1. This will be the heat rejected. Right? Heat supply and heat rejected we calculated from here. Right? Heat supply and heat rejected is this one. Now we have to solve it further. Right? Suppose now we have to find the relation between these temperatures T4, T1, T3 and T2. We have to find the relation. You just pay attention now. We'll start it from one by one and we'll see how these things will happen. Right? From here I can write one thing. Let us leave it here only and we'll find out some relations. First of all, let us take this process 1 to 2. This process 1 to 2 is the adiabatic process. This is a adiabatic process. Isentropic process is reversible adiabatic. So for this process 1 to 2, you can write that T2 by T1 will be equal to V1 by V2 raised to power gamma minus 1. You can write like this, right? So from here I can write this will be equal to, what is V1 by V2 is R. So this will be R raised to power gamma minus 1. So from here I can write T2 is equal to T1 into R raised to power gamma minus 1. This is the first. Right, I am deriving all the temperatures in the form of T1, right? Our main focus is to calculate all the temperatures in the form of T1 only. So this T2 in the term of T1 is T2 is equal to T1 into R raised to power gamma minus 1. Now let us move to the second process, that is process 2 to 3. Let us talk about this process 2 to 3. This is a constant pressure process. constant pressure process. So air is an ideal gas, so you can write for the constant pressure process that that ideal gas equation is P2 V2 upon T2 is equal to P3 V3 upon T3. As we know, P2 is equal to P3, so you can write from here what we got is, this will cancel, so V2 by T2, if I write here, we will get V2 by T2 will be equal to V3 by T3, right? So from here you will get T3 is equal to V3 by V2 into T2. V3 by V2 into T2, right? What is V3 by V2? Rho. So you can write T3 will be equal to V3 by V2 is rho. And what is T2? T2 you can take it from here, that is T1 into R raised to power gamma minus 1. This is the relation between T3 and T1. So this T3 in the form of T1 will be T3 is equal to rho times T1 into R raised to power gamma minus 1. Similarly, we can do it for process 3 to 4, right? For the process 3 to 4. For the process 3 to 4, I can write that T4 upon T3 will be equal to V3 upon V4 raised to power gamma minus 1, right? V3 by V4 raised to power gamma minus 1. Now, so what is V3 by V4? V3 by V4 is, V3 by V4 is 1 upon Re, and 1 upon Re can be written as rho upon R. So this will be rho upon R raised to power gamma minus 1. So from here I can write T4 will be equal to T3. T3 is rho into T1 into R raised to power gamma minus 1 into, this is rho upon R raised to power gamma minus 1. So from here you can see that R raised to power gamma minus 1, R raised to power gamma minus 1 will be cancel out. So if I can write here, then this will be equal to rho 1 T1 into rho raised to power gamma minus 1. So rho raised to power gamma minus 1 into rho can be written as rho raised to power gamma, right? You can solve it, basic mathematics, rho raised to power gamma. This rho will gone, right? So this is your T4 in terms of T1, which is equal to T1 into rho raised to power gamma, right? So we calculated T2, T3 and T4 in terms of T1. So if I put these values in the efficiency formula, if I put all these value in the efficiency formula here, let us rub this. One second. Efficiency can be written as heat, your net work done upon heat supply, and it can be also written as 1 minus heat rejected upon heat supply, right? So now if I put these values in the efficiency formula, the efficiency of the diesel cycle will be equal to 1 minus heat rejected upon heat supply. This will be equal to 1 minus heat rejected is mCV into T4 minus T1, and heat supply is divided by M, this is CV, mCP into heat supply is T3 minus T2, T3 minus T2, right? M and M will cancel, Cp by Cv is gamma, so this will be equal to 1 minus 1 upon gamma into T4. T4 in terms of T1 is T1 into rho raised to power gamma minus T1 divided by T3 in form of T1 is rho into T1 into R raised to power gamma minus 1 minus T2 is T1 into R raised to power gamma minus 1. So if I take T1 common and cancelled it, then you can get the diesel cycle efficiency will be equal to 1 minus, here we have this is rho raised to power gamma minus 1 divided by gamma into this is your, or r raised to power gamma minus 1 I will take common, this is gamma into r raised to power gamma minus 1 into rho minus 1, right, into rho minus 1. So this will be the formula of efficiency for the diesel cycle. Again, I will suggest no need to remember these formulas of the efficiency, just for your understanding how we can calculate. That's why we solve these formula. No need to remember these formulas of the efficiencies. Now how you can write the diesel cycle efficiency? Suppose you learned the Otto cycle efficiency, then I will give you a hint that the Otto cycle efficiency is 1 minus 1 upon, this will be 1 minus 1 upon r raised to power gamma minus 1, right. This will be the cycle efficiency of Otto cycle. This will be the efficiency of Otto cycle. So what you have to do, you have to multiply the numerator with rho minus 1 and rho minus 1, right. We multiply this with rho minus 1, multiply and divide. Here we have raised to power gamma and here we have gamma, right. This is the way you can remember that how to learn this diesel cycle efficiency. This is a trick how to remember the efficiency of the diesel cycle, right. Again, if I suggest, first of all write down the efficiency of the Otto cycle, multiply with rho minus 1, if there is a power gamma, here we have gamma, right. This is the way you can remember the diesel cycle efficiency if Otto cycle efficiency is known to you. Otherwise, I will suggest no need to remember the efficiency formula. You can easily write down the efficiency. You can easily calculate. If the better understanding of your thermodynamics is clear, then you can directly write the efficiency formula, right. You can easily derive it. Now again we have the mean effective pressure. Mean effective pressure is, if we multiply this with the swept volume, it will give you the net work done. Right. This formula is already known to us in the Otto cycle. Same will be applicable here, and this W net will be this heat supply minus heat rejected, right. This we know that W net will be heat supply minus heat rejected. So from here you can easily calculate what will be the mean effective pressure, right. Mean effective pressure is the, if it is a constant pressure which is throughout the cycle, if we maintain a constant pressure and if the cycle is undergoing between the same volume limits, that is V1 and V2, then it will give you the same work output which will be given by the actual cycle. So that constant pressure is known as mean effective pressure. You already know this. So this is all about the diesel cycle.